I haven't seen you since the plague.
Yahoo! Lupin, the third, the first, stroke 10, memories of times long before?
We're gonna go Lupin the third, then Lupin the first. I'm gonna go Lupin the 8th, and then we're gonna do Lupin the 8.5.
Okay, and then circle back around, Lupin the second. What's his dad all about? And we will finally close with just adaptations of the French literature about Arsène Lupin. We will close with Arsène Lupin. We will close with hello, welcome to Sacre Bleu News, where we will discuss the famed thief Arsène Lupin, who eludes our gendarmes each and every day.
The Louvre is just empty, like.
Why cannot we catch this Lupin? He leaves us a cute little card.
It into like a conference center or like a convention space.
It's now 10 discrete basketball courts because every day Arsène Lupin leaves a cute little card that says, "I'm going to steal your shit," and they never stop him. They completely fail to stop Arsène Lupin the First, who has again converted the Louvre into 7 basketball courts.
They've converted the Louvre into the world's largest Spencer Gifts.
It's welcome to the world's largest art topic. We will provide you.
And the glass case that used to separate people from the Mona Lisa is now. That's where they have all the sex toys in.
Yeah, that's where they all have, like, the weed-themed dildos.
Yeah.
Welcome to Babiez's finest Ed Shop, where you can buy bongs for tobacco, of course. This is why you are buying this pipe, because of tobacco, of course.
I remember in modern world cinema, Pete Timmerman explained that it's very popular to roll your tobacco in France. And so he was like, you're going to see a lot of people rolling tobacco in this movie. They're not rolling joints. So that they in the Louvre, they would say for tobacco, of course. But he was saying like, but because it was Pete, it couldn't just be, hey, here's a piece of information for you. He had to wrap it up in an anecdote/complaint, which was in France, they wrap their tobacco. They roll their own tobacco. They don't buy pre-rolled cigarettes. And it's always a pain in the ass if you ever go see a movie in France, because the last 10 minutes of any movie, all you hear is people wrinkling their fucking papers and rolling their cigarettes. It just went on for a long time, just complaining about rolling cigarettes.
Yes, all those times I'm going to go see a movie in France.
Did we really have to spend a 15-minute intro to the film about this, Pete?
Pete? Come on, Pete.
It's part of his appeal. It's I love it. So
yeah, I love Pete. Vern, you love Pete more than probably anyone. You love Pete more than his own parents.
The only person who loves Pete more than me is formerly known as April Berryman. Now Louise. She goes by Louise now. But
I did not know that.
But she they are in love with Pete Timmerman. They are the only person who loves Pete more than me. So.
Oh, I had forgotten that, but yes, that's a deep, deep love.
I would be very happy to meet with Pete once a week and talk about movies. Louise wants to have sexual intercourse with Pete several times, and that's not something I'm interested in.
But if he asked.
I mean, get a few drinks in me, and, we'll see.
Get some wine coolers in there.
Yeah.
Get some Seagrams in me, now we're talking. Anything's liable to happen. This is, of course, Movies for Babies.
Oh!
For, January.
I'm not rolling, but okay.
Neither am I. I am rolling now.
Okay.
I am rolling now. Okay.
Okay, I see. Vern is going to roll his camera. Now I see. Okay, well, I've been rolling for about 4.5 minutes.
Oh,
Well, I know
no,
you've
we've
been rolling.
We're on candid microphone.
Oh my god.
That's right. You're on, baby. And this ain't coming out. This is going in.
Now Kevin will know about my scheme to steal the Mona Lisa.
Mon Dieu. Mon Dieu.
I have a friend from France named Sophie. The end.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, great French name, Sophie.
Sophie.
Not everyone. You see, one of the things that has messed us up, and you would think with us being in 3 separate time zones now, at one point all 3 of us have lived in all 4 time zones in the U.S., but you would think that once we escaped our humble Missouri beginnings, we would have gotten out of this, but we haven't. We 3 still are under the false impression that everything outside of our bubble is a punch-out stereotype. And so whenever we hear that there's a person in France named Sophie, we're like, what? Their name is not linguine cheese or something like that.
No, you mean when a young German archaeologist wants to go to Boston University?
Yeah, exactly. We get so thrown. You would think that us having seen the world by now and Kevin being in the epicenter of culture in New York City, that we would realize that, like, things aren't as blindly stereotyped and made with boxing gloves as we think they are. But no, we still are firmly entrenched in that everyone is a fucking cartoon character.
That is certainly the cornerstone for Midwestern humor.
Yeah, because
where
of my,
we stereotypify everyone, including ourselves.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, yeah, exactly. Let me squish past you just for a second.
Let me just squeeze past you. Yeah, exactly. Because Glass Joe of the Punch-Out franchise is indeed my Rosetta Stone for understanding the French. Every time I meet a French person, I'm like, I could fucking take this guy. I could just give him a couple quick knocks on the jaw, and he's going down.
It is a very nice
And then you see what happens when their retirement age is shortened by like a month.
It is very nice in Punch-Out Wii, where you knock out Glass Joe and croissants fly out of him. It's a very nice touch.
It's absolutely. It was interesting to watch that when they adapted Punch-Out for the Wii, there were some stereotypes that even they were like, okay, this one is too far. In a game where, like, King Hippo is a tremendously large Samoan person, and when you punch them, like, pineapple rings like fly out of them. Like, there were some that even they were like, no.
Hey, listen, we already got Mario. We don't need pizza pasta.
Yeah, and one of them was Mike Tyson himself. One of them was Mike Tyson is too offensive to be in the Punch-Out franchise anymore. He must be removed.
Punch-Out Wii was developed by Retro Studios, which is a studio that's based in Texas. And there are 2 characters in Punch-Out Wii that are brand new to the Punch-Out franchise. And that is Disco Kid, which is a play on Frisco Kid. Very funny. And Donkey Kong. The final boss of Punch-Out Wii is Donkey Kong. But originally, Retro Studios, a studio based in Texas, wanted the final character to be Princess Peach. And they had developed her. And then Nintendo was like, hey, we don't want someone to beat up a woman in our video game.
Like, beat up our most famous woman? Just,
especially
like, beat the tar out of Princess?
Especially considering that, like, Punch-Out Wii introduced, like, characters getting bruises the more you beat them up. And,
where they lose teeth and they looked fucked up the longer you fight them.
Yes.
Not Bowser, not even like Waluigi or Luigi. No.
They wanted...
Or Mario! Like, why are we not saying Mario?
Because...
Well,
yeah,
in Punch-Out lore, Mario is a referee, because he's a referee.
Yes, exactly.
In the original
that's
Punch-Out.
right. That's right.
Yeah, he's already in the game, Jorston.
But, Nintendo, Nintendo, the character, the company that made, Birdo, was like, no, let's maybe not have Princess Peach in our game. Maybe do Donkey Kong instead, and so instead of, domestic abuse, it's animal abuse, but,
Oh, good.
Well,
Against
Donkey
an
Kong's
animal
unto
that
a
doesn't
man.
know better.
Yeah. I think Donkey Kong is human enough that I have no moral issue with whipping the tar out of that bee-tied freak.
And I guess,
He
too,
can drive and gamble.
and his...
You can play baseball.
Yeah, he could play soccer. And, historically, Donkey Kong is a villain. He was a villain of the original Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that's true.
And Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr., he was kidnapped by Mario. Mario was a villain in Donkey Kong Jr., and you had to play as Donkey Kong Jr. to rescue him. He was the villain again in Donkey Kong 3. Another dumb thing, because my whole life I went around thinking, okay, I've played Donkey Kong, I've played Donkey Kong Jr., I've played Donkey Kong 3. Where is Donkey Kong 2? And turns out Donkey Kong 2 is Donkey Kong Jr. They just Sylvester Stallone Rambo series did, where the first one is First Blood, and the second one is Rambo First Blood Part 2, and the third one is Rambo 3. It's just they can't number things.
Speaking of films with confusing titles, today, folks, we watched the Japanese animated film Lupin the Third, the First.
Lupin, cue the jazz music. It is time for Lupin. Yes, so I think a good place to quote unquote start 10 minutes in would be to talk about Lupin as a franchise and also all of our history with Lupin. Vern, I assume you have the least of the three of us.
Maybe. It depends on where you guys are coming from. My introduction to Lupin the Third was Adult Swim, when Adult Swim first started airing. There was... I think now what they do is... I've not had cable in a long time, but I think, Saturdays on Adult Swim are exclusively anime, and then everything else is, your traditional Adult Swim fare. But used to, when Adult Swim first aired, back when the bumpers were footage of people in a swimming pool, it was Home Movies, C-Lab, The Brack Show, Space Ghost. It was the Adult Swim standard fare up until around 11 at night or so, and then it would be anime. And one of the series that aired during that first run of Adult Swim was what I've believed to be the second Lupin the Third anime series, which is
Part
Lupin
2.
the Third Part 2. I historically have not been a fan of anime. It's very hard to get into. I've had better luck with the films, but as far as series go, I've not had a lot of luck. But Lupin the Third Part 2, that series was something I very much enjoyed. And then from there, I've seen what I believed to be the first Lupin the Third movie. A cursory glance at Wikipedia showed me that I might be wrong, but that's the one that Hayao Miyazaki did. The one that...
Castle of Cagliostro.
Cagliostro. I can never pronounce it. I've seen that, enjoyed that movie. For the longest time, I lusted after and wanted the PlayStation 2 Lupin the Third video game. Could not find it anywhere in Southern Illinois, the damnedest thing. But 2 weeks ago, I was walking down a sidewalk in front of a strip mall and looked inside a game exchange store, and sitting on the shelf was the Lupin the Third PS2 game. And I thought about stopping in, but I do not have a PS2. Been a
Oh,
fan
man.
of Lupin the Third. What little I've seen of it, but as per usual with most anime, there's either 4 episodes of a thing or 4,000 episodes of a thing, and Lupin the Third falls into the second of those 2 categories. There's too much for me to watch and to be a part of, but what little I've seen, I enjoy.
I will say the advantage, like one of the, I think, more accessible things about Lupin, though, is that Lupin has been a franchise character since like the 70s.
Yes.
And a lot of that is just accumulation. Because they constantly reboot his show or do just original video animation one-offs.
Yeah, they Monkey Punch, I think, published the first Lupin in like 68 or something like that. Just like and then the first Lupin the Third Part 1 was a mid-70s anime that I'm slowly working my way through, and then they've essentially done a new series every decade.
Where are you finding that? Is it
Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Crunchyroll has, I believe, all 5 parts. They don't, and then in the middle of like all of that, they've published like 40 movies and OVAs and TV specials. And crossovers, while never becoming a huge character in America. Lupin is just one of those fucking gigantic Japanese and European characters.
He's like Japan's Doctor Who.
Exactly. He's been around forever. He is sort of ageless and timeless. And the formula
constantly
is
referenced by other works.
100%. And the formula is like dense. Like they really do stick to a formula basically every time, but it doesn't feel lazy to me in that way. It feels this is a weird analogous example, but it feels to me like when you watch Phineas and Ferb and like you know exactly how the episode is going to shake out, but the structure is part of it. The structure is integral to what the product is. I hate that I referred to it as a product. That sucks. But it's integral to what the storytelling style of this franchise is, and it's just about how it's going to play out this time. And I find it very like comforting in that way.
Yes. Well, it is the like heist version of a sitcom.
I mean, basically, you know, if like it's a Party Down style sitcom where we're in a new location every week, but it's like, it's Lupin, and then Jigen and Goemon are gonna hang out in the car and like wait to do a couple cool things. Fujiko is going to be a classic femme fatale and have dubious allegiance, and then ultimately like try and take the treasure or whatever it is for herself. And you know, you don't know if she's working for the bad guy or working for Lupin, and then Zenigata is going to try and capture Lupin the whole time, and then sometimes Lupin, that dude was cracking my fucking shit up. The guy they have
get into
playing
him we should get into him later, like when we talk about the whole cast.
Yeah, the whole cast is good. But anyway, yeah, that's part of it. I really enjoy Lupin. It's been a big part of my trying to get into anime and Japanese media as a whole. The big push for me was a combination of the Miyazaki catalog and the Persona video game franchise. And the 5th game in that franchise, Arsène Lupin, is like your special summon, like because you're a thief. So you summon this like spectral angel version of Arsène Lupin.
Can I?
And one of.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
that's okay.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just thinking about this. I don't know if it's been the same for Justin, but I feel like for Kevin and myself, it's been a constant uphill battle that we've been fighting with other people, like trying to get us into anime, and we're like, no, we're not interested. But us not being aware, like because we don't live in Japan, we're in a different country, and it's literally like Japanese culture is literally foreign to us. We don't understand, but like myself, like so much of the anime that I've been recommended over time has been, how do I put it, like very samey, and a lot of the like, well, you'd like this, and I'm like, no, looking at it, like that's not an aesthetic that I find attractive, and I think in my 20 years, 25 years of people trying to get me into anime, watch anime, like I've never once had Lupin introduced to me or brought up as like, you would like this. And it feels as though to me, I could be wrong, but it feels as though like, though Lupin is a big part of Japanese culture in Japan, it's not considered a part, or not thought of as a part of Japanese culture or whatever, in America's version of Japanese culture, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely.
I can't count how many times I've been told, like, you'd like Gundam, you'd like Robotech, you would like...
No, you wouldn't.
Exactly,
you
Evangelion,
wouldn't.
You would like Dragon Ball. And
No.
I'm not...
Evangelion, maybe. But that's just, like, interesting.
I'm very curious about it, but, like... so for the longest time, I just kind of carried this, like, dumbness towards anime. Like, I don't like it. I'm not interested in it. And it was not until, like, I've been able to grow and kind of seek things out for myself that I was like, oh, no, I do enjoy anime, but it's Lupin. It's stuff that's not been introduced. Ultimate Muscle is a wonderful show. Another thing that, like, I did not realize. I remembered it as a show on the Fox box. I did not realize it's also been around since the 70s.
Oh, it's a legacy.
It's a legacy, exactly. And I feel like there's an Americanized version of Japanese culture and
absolutely.
a Japanese culture of Japanese culture.
The early introductions to America for anime, at least, was first like stuff that didn't translate was stuff that was very poorly translated and localized.
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer. What was it? Astro Boy. There was one about a robot. It was like Iron Robo, but then there was like Robotech and Gundam and all this stuff that was very poorly and rushly dubbed, mostly by one guy who had like a small monopoly. And then it just slowly started diversifying in the 90s, really, with Pokemon, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball Z, which is all very kiddie, very juvenile. And I don't mean that bad way. It's kid stuff.
Yeah, it's for babies. And that's
it's
okay.
For
like,
babies.
some stuff should be for babies.
Yes. And that kind of set the standard for what America understands anime to be. Even though, like, anime and manga in Japan has always been very varied. I mean, the guy who defined manga, Osamu Tezuka, he did invent, Astro Boy, but he also
and Kimba.
he did Kimba. He also did a heartbreaking and he also and deeply mature stories like Adolf, which is about a Japanese German Nazi kid and his relationship to a Jewish Japanese immigrant, both named Adolf.
Very interesting.
Or like an 8-volume epic about the life of Siddhartha and his journey to becoming the Buddha.
Yeah, very intriguing.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, he understood adult stories very well. It's just that in America, and you know what? In the Reagan 80s, they mostly used anime to sell toys.
Yes. In that very specific moment where Reagan peeled back regulations that prevented us from just selling to kids directly.
Yes.
And that rolls back. And I'm not saying that, like, every time I make this criticism, people are like, but I like G.I. Joe. And I'm like, that's not the point. Like, the point was fucking G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, like, all of these toy-based shows
Teenage Mutant
roll
Ninja
out...
Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles roll out because suddenly we can sell directly to kids in a way that we never could before. And that, listen, if you like Transformers, that's great. Like, you have an emotional reaction to Transformers, but, like, that is where Transformers came from. And it's fine if you've grown to like it outside of that, but that is where that came from.
I learned this just recently. A lot of... I feel like we're just outside of that bubble of, like, 80s kids. Me being... I'm the oldest one of all three of us, and I was born in 89. But, like, we all have friends that, just have memories of, like, seeing Transformers, the movie, in theaters and watching TMNT on Saturday mornings. I just recently learned, spoiler alert for a 40-year-old movie, but in the original Transformers movie, the animated Transformers movie, Optimus Prime dies. And I've heard several man-children talk about, like, how upset they were and how they cried in the theater about Optimus Prime dying in the original Transformers. And I learned that, like, that move to have Optimus Prime die in the original Transformers was they realized they could... Optimus Prime was a very easy Transformer toy to manufacture, and they realized that, like, they could produce a more complex toy that was more expensive and kids would buy it. So they wanted to, like, that was them, like, phasing out an older model of their toys. Yeah. And the way they did that was, like, writing into a feature that a character died. It was... Oh, yeah. It's the craziest thing to me.
The way... Yeah, like, surprise, surprise. If you are listening to
Lando's in disguise.
You need to understand... Kids stuff is primarily there to sell toys. Yeah. And they design the characters to be able to sell toys. The first time, like, the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show was the first time they actually gave each of the turtles a different body shape and silhouette.
Yeah.
Like, they actually look physiologically different because they don't have to reuse the same general mold of plastic anymore. They can manufacture differently shaped turtles at a fast enough rate that they don't have to just use the same silhouette and body model, just paint it different colors.
And I, not intentionally, but I've recently become something of a toy boy. I received several toys over the holidays.
Oh, you're a toy boy and a boy toy.
Yes. I received several toys over the holidays, and not through design, not through inquiry, but it just happened, and I've got something of a toy collection now. But I have found that there's a term in the toy industry called toyetic, and that is a term used to describe, like, things in cartoons, in movies, in professional wrestling, whatever it might be, that, like, characters that look like they would be a fun toy to play with. And there's a big drive in, like, different media, just like those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They are all very toyetic. They're bright green. They have bright colors. They come with weapons. They fight the Foot Clan. It's like it's a weird thing that there's, like, all the thought going into, like, a character design, character development being, like, what would make them toyetic? What would make them stand out against a sea of other, like, figures? And like, part of Hulk Hogan, he's the biggest cunt in the universe. But part of, like, what made him, like, a phenomenon was that, like, he's very toyetic. He wore bright yellow and he had hot dog skin, and he juxtaposed against everyone else wearing, like, their black underwear on the shelf. And people, like, saw Hulk Hogan. They're like, I want to play with that guy. It's an Ultimate Warrior being, like, the second place. It's a crazy thing, toyeticness, that I've learned recently. And it unfortunately works because I watch Lupin the first, or I watch something else, and I catch myself thinking, like, well, that guy's very toyetic, or that character's very toyetic. Like, it's weird how it works.
I'd play with them.
I want a Goemon action figure. I want him and his little sword. That's exactly what I want.
I want a life-size Jigen doll for me.
For reasons.
For reasons.
Yeah. Bold move this movie makes to make Jigen fucking hot as shit.
Well, no, they just made him. So let's transition into who the characters of Lupin are. There are 5 central characters. There's first.
Yes.
Arsène Lupin III, based on the French pulp character from like the 1910s or 20s, who was just a fancy gentleman thief. They made him just kind of a rascal.
Who?
Arsène Lupin III.
Yeah, he's a rascal. He looks like a monkey, which is fitting because he's created by a man named Monkey Punch. And he's I mean, to describe, like, Lupin III, he's remarkably competent. He's a gentleman thief, and the rule is, like, you have to warn someone before you try to steal from them. Like, you are a gentleman thief, you leave a calling card, and you're like, I'm coming, so, like, get ready. He delivers the
calling card at the start of the heist, instead of at the end.
Yes, exactly. And those are the rules of a gentleman thief. It's a pre-warning, like, get ready, try and stop me.
I'm stealing your shit.
He's remarkably fun. He's a master of disguise. He is somewhat of like a womanizer, but like usually it just means he's like kind of horny. He's not he's not particularly like predatory or even successful.
A woman appreciator?
Well, no, actually in the manga he is unfortunately successful.
Okay. Well, yes, and that is wisely something that I think they have cut out of most adaptations. Is that like he's horny, and particularly for Fujiko, but he's a horny man, and in every single one of these movies he is teamed up. There is some new wide-eyed young girl. It's the weirdest. Every one of these movies, Castle of Cagliostro has theirs. The little like princess in the tower. And he's just, I don't know, he's a cool guy. I think they work as point of view characters to see, like, why we think this character is cool. Like, why is he interesting to watch and to see? You get why a young girl would be like, well, this guy's got a lot going on.
It's a kind of...
This guy's competent as hell. That's hot. Competence is hot.
To put it in a way for dumb Americans to understand, it's like, it's James Bond. Like,
but it's like if Joey was from Friends was James Bond.
Speaking of, NBC's Joey, available on IMAX. Speaking of Joey, rather, it is a crime. This is maybe just for me, but it is a crime that we have not seen Joe Conroy cosplay as Lupin III.
I was thinking the same, but for Jigen. He is
like
the hat and the beard. He could do either. Yeah. But I was just thinking about like it's really just when they 2D animated Jigen's default pose of like hat pulled down over the eyes, long beard, crumpled stubby cigarette. There's just something about that I'm like, oh, Joe could do that. Like the style of him. I think there's something there.
I guess maybe I should like demeanor wise he physical wise he's Lupin. Demeanor wise he's Jigen.
Sure.
So
and we could all dream.
Which brings us to the next character. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I just want Joe to cosplay as Jigen.
Cosplay as Jigen and Lupin. So
there's 5 characters.
Jigen is Lupin's right-hand man. He's based on James Coburn, the actor.
Cool. Great. Love to
and
see
so and in this movie they model his voice and face on James Coburn, which is just kind of fun.
Yeah, he's played by the same Japanese voice actor that played him in Castle of Cagliostro in like 1979. Yeah. So that guy is now my most watched actor so far of 2021 because I've watched him in both of these movies so far. It's him and Martin Scorsese are my most watched actors of 2021 right now. He's cool. I mean, like, there's not a lot to say about Jigen. He's just a fucking cool dude. He's a sharpshooter. He
He's
drives
cool,
the car.
He's tired all the time.
Yeah,
he's actually canonically gay.
Great, love to see it.
Yeah, awesome.
We love a gay king.
We love an exhausted gay king.
There's a scene in this one where like they're in that anti-gravity cave, the cave where the gravity is controlled, and like he's sleeping upside down on the ceiling, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm into this.
He's great. He's the one who's like, oh, Lupin, we're doing this. Come on, Lupin, we already did this. Come on, Lupin.
Yeah, he's great. He's a good foil. He's a good second banana. The third banana in this triumvirate is where the Thief's Code meets the Bushido Code.
Yeah, there's Goemon. He's just a samurai. He's just a samurai in the group.
he's just a samurai. There's this excellent episode of the 70s anime show with the episode where these two meet and they recognize each other as like the greatest thieves and they have like a thieves duel on a highway and like 100 people die. It's so fucked up. But Goemon's cool. There's this excellent running bit they have, because he does. It's the samurai trope of like guy removes sword and like plane gets cut in half.
Well, no, samurai cuts. Nothing happens. He puts the sword back in the sheath, and then all the cutting happens.
It's that to like its most comedic extreme.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I always think it's so funny
to the extent that like every time he cuts, it's literally every time he cuts. In this movie, it's just a black screen with a swish. Like the entire frame is black, and
super cool.
It's great.
There's an excellent running bit in Castle of Cagliostro where he doesn't even take the sword out of the sheath. He just goes like and like pulls it out a little bit, and then like everyone around him just like erupts in blood. It's so fucking funny. It's really really good. And then next member of the group, you have the classic femme fatale, Fujiko Mine, who is animated one-handed. And as soon as this movie panned over and I saw tits, I was like, "Oh, it's Fujiko."
Fujiko might be my favorite member of the group because
same.
She is just as competent as Lupin.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she fucks up, it's usually stuff that is outside of her control.
Yeah.
Really, she's like in the show. I watched the 70s one as well. She's like a barometer to set the stakes. Like she is
if
what
Fujiko is worried,
competent
we should all be worried.
Yeah,
exactly.
But like she uses her sexuality to like get ahead because femme fatale. But she's the one who actually cares about money. Like actually cares about getting treasure and shit.
Yeah, right. Lupin never walks away with the treasure. Like, I've never seen one of these stories where he walks away with the gold.
It's usually because Fujiko stole it from him.
Right, Fujiko stole it, but then she sees that it was, like, actually a double cross, and nobody has the treasure. It's, like, a classic formulaic bit.
Yeah.
She
always has a machine gun. All the time.
Always a machine gun. And she's usually either the opening or closing credits of whatever Lupin cartoon show you are watching. She is always one of those two things. She's great. No notes. Every anime has this problem with what they call fan service, which that term is gross. Where there's always got to be some TNA on an anime show, and normally it's like reprehensible because the TNA is a 16-year-old. At least Fujiko is like an adult woman.
Yeah.
At least Fujiko is seems to have agency in her own display, quote unquote.
And also, though I've seen a lot of the second series from the 70s, and I've seen Castle of, I can never pronounce the second term.
Cagliostro.
Cagliostro. Though I've seen that stuff, my brain is soft. But as far as I recall, and it happens in this one, she is the femme fatale, sexy character, but also because it's in that 60s, 70s style, it's very classily done.
It's evening wear, not like lingerie.
Yes, whereas in a lot of anime and things like it's just very gross. Like
or panties.
The only example I can think of off the top of my head, and this is like a very egregious example, but like Ivy from Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Just like
no, exactly.
God.
Just her quote unquote armor is just like a thong and a bra, and she has a whip. And it's always super gross.
Yeah, it's really
just
bad.
What anime does to women is very gross, I think.
Correct. And that the community has taken to calling it fan service. Because in any other medium, fan service usually refers to, like, oh, here's a wink and a nod for the fans. Like, oh, if I'm reading a comic book and I encounter fan service, it's a reference to a comic from 40 years ago that, like, the fans, quote-unquote, would pick up on. When you're watching anime and you see fan service, it's women's tits, and that's fucked up. I hate that. It's so fucking gross.
It's very, like, shitty B-movie, like, exploitation film shit.
Yeah.
That, at least in America.
But at least in the B-movies, they were usually adults.
They were adult the fact that it's normalized, like that's the problem with anime being pejoratively still a kid's medium, even though it does have a lot of really great like adult stories in it. Sure. Is that it's a huge base of man babies, of adult children who want all of the like benefits of an adult, but also want all of the simplicity of childhood.
Yes.
So you get teens with like boobs the size of their heads.
It's
and that's all that's in shot.
Your Dead or Alive's for the video game franchise, like they introduced breast physics, to video games, just like
no, but at least they're adults. Like it's dumb, sleazy, like sexploitation stuff, but it's for, as far as I know, grown women. Like it's the fact that they have to make the show accessible to kids because that's still the main demographic, but still make it appeal to this niche group of adults.
Horrible people.
Yeah, for perverts.
Yeah.
Let's call them what they are. Perverts.
Demo.
And that's
the coveted pervert demo.
That's another thing. Like that's a lot of the reason. Another big reason, like why there's still like a big blind spot in my media intake and whatnot when it comes to anime is because like there's a lot of anime out there that it's very like there's a lot of anime out there that I feel gross watching because of the fan service. And it's like, I don't know, whenever I'm looking to unwind after a long day's work, like I don't want to do that by feeling like a gross pervert.
Right.
It's just not my thing. There's just a lot of this anime and a lot of the stuff that again that's been recommended to me is like on top of it just being something that's on an aesthetic level I do not care for. It also makes me feel gross. And that's one of the nice little benefits of Lupin is like again, it's got an element of all this, but it feels classy. It feels like it almost feels like Hays Code like.
Like one of the like most influential manga and anime that I watched like as a teen was a show called Ranma Half.
Okay.
Which is about this girl and boy are high schoolers that were put into an arranged marriage. Unfortunately, the boy has a ancient Chinese curse. Japan is just as racist about China as the rest of the world. That where if he is splashed with cold water, the boy turns into a girl. And if splashed with hot water, the girl is then turned back into a boy.
Uh-huh.
So, there's a lot, so
must make showers interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of bathhouse humor. That's a central point of the comedy. But it was the program was written and drawn by like one of the most successful woman mangaka in Japan, and it's Not real, and the way I see it, like looking back on, like, look, I enjoyed it for different reasons as a teen, but as an adult, it really doesn't see. It's really not like any nudity, which is just like waist up stuff, is mostly just played as sex farce. It is never really it's not portrayed as erotically that much. Or, in a way, most of the eroticism comes when the character is wearing revealing clothing. The nudity itself is never portrayed erotically.
Is it like, this is the only way my dumb brain knows how to process what you're saying? Is it like American Pie level?
Oh, absolutely. It's very much, it's actually, it's tamer than American Pie. Like, sex
American
is never
Pie,
really a thing.
Pie, that movie where someone sets up a hidden camera to capture a woman changing her clothes.
Yeah, no. Ranma
and she gets expelled.
Ranma Half is female upper body nudity, and it is 100% more wholesome than American Pie. Sex is not a thing of it. It is just an incidental incident of a sex comedy that features mostly women.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's just a difference of it does feel like a difference of content, or not. Yes, a difference of content, but also just intent.
No,
there's no. Yeah, it's just a joke, and I just think that's, I don't know, an interesting perspective. Kevin, you can cut this if you think this goes absolutely nowhere.
No, I refuse. I'm sure someone will be like, "Oh, the Ranma Half conversation that I've been waiting for." I've not heard of it. And then there's to round out our
I am not here's the thing. I will admit I am not the person to make actual observations and criticisms of female agency in Ranma Half. There are I'm talking about stuff that I've read by essayists much smarter and thoughtful than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So please check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And to round out our quints, our 5 main characters, is Zenigata, the Interpol agent.
Lupin!
Who's always Lupin! The guy that got is very funny. He makes me laugh. This is why I do subs, is that you truly cannot replace the gruff voiced Japanese voice actors with anything. There's a quality and tenor to their voice that is so pleasing and funny to me, and I could not dream of removing that from most programs.
I'm assuming that you guys, when you watched this, yours was dubbed?
Yes.
Mine was subbed.
Okay.
On the PlayStation Network, they gave me an option. I could rent either the English dub version or the Japanese subtitled version.
Okay.
I went with subs.
Of course. Subs, not dubs, all the way. I
think dubs are fine. There are dubs I enjoy. The Cowboy Bebop dub, I think, is quite good. It's not. It depends on if you want to read something, and that's fine.
I pre-ordered this movie. It became a thing. I don't know how it started, but every holiday season, I get my wife an anime film, and I don't know where that came from, but it's always been a thing. And this year, I thought I would double dip and get her Lupin the Third, the First, knowing also that we were going to do it on this show. But I did not realize it did not come out on physical media until like 4 days ago, at the time we were recording this. And so because of that, I had to rent it, and I could only get a dubbed version. I'm assuming it's dubbed. They did a weird thing, and I don't know if this was the same for you, Kevin. It felt like to my wife and I when we watched it last night that like they animated the mouths in a way that they were moving, but they wouldn't match any language, so that you could just drag and drop the audio into wherever you needed. There were times where it looked like it matched, and there was times where it did not look like it matched. It was distracting for a little bit of the movie, but then I got used to it.
It matched pretty well for me, but I'm also not a particularly good judge of the Japanese language and how it would come out of a character's mouth. So I was really like, because of that disconnect, I was not really like paying attention to the words coming out of their mouths. I appreciated a lot of the like mouth animation. I think they do a lot of like good work with Lupin and Jigen's and Zenigata's like mouth animations, but I wasn't really like trying to study that. It's not unheard of in this modern age that they would do both types of lip syncing. I know that the Witcher video game franchise does like a Polish mouth animation and an English mouth animation, and for the sheer amount of mouth animations in that game, I'm just like agog at how much work that is. I know they do like a certain amount of like bot work, that it's like you just have this program that will try and interpret the words being said as best it can into mouth movements, but still I'm just like I'm flabbergasted at it. I cannot speak to it.
I do know that that whole thing with like mouth animations and languages and different translations being a thing is a lot of the reason why they've not made a Where's Waldo movie, because only in America is he Waldo and everywhere else he's Wally. And your mouth moves different saying Wally than saying Waldo. And they just thought like it'd be too expensive to... They couldn't Sorcerer's Stone, Philosopher's Stone it, or at least they don't feel like they could. That being a reference to the first Harry Potter movie, where
for some reason they thought Americans wouldn't know what a philosopher was.
Yeah.
Philosophers aren't magic. What are you talking about?
So they went with sorcerers.
Yeah, there are in the first Harry Potter movie. They shot that movie twice. They just did 2 takes of every scene.
Yep.
Or not every scene, but every scene where this came up. So, like, in America, it is the Sorcerer's Stone, but in Britain, it's Philosopher's Stone.
God.
There's also a lot in that first movie, because for some reason I ended up with a copy of the international DVD, and there's a lot of that. So, like, there was this disconnect of, like, wait, they're saying, like, philosopher, whereas I've known only the Sorcerer's Stone. And there's a lot of that movie where they say it off camera. They I think did a lot of cheating. They didn't cheat every time, but like, we're looking at a book and we're saying like the name of the stone when the shot is on the book, or when we're on the other side of a doorway, or something like that. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Gotcha.
In that first movie. So I'm not actually sure on the subs v dubs mouth animation. Justin, you watched the dub?
Yes, I did. Also, I don't think we ever clarified. Zenigata is a officer of Interpol. He is a cop that finally the Movies for Babies gang can approve of because he's incompetent. Movies for Babies
staple.
Yeah, absolutely. Zenigata is the only cop I like.
He's also incompetent, but...
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's incompetent, he's angry, but in a funny way. He's got 1 million officers behind him.
Yeah,
all the time.
He's the same cop as every cop that we've encountered, but the difference is that we like this one for whatever reason.
His primary weapon is a pair of handcuffs on a rope. That he
so good. So fucking good. So remarkable. He has this weird, like, chivalric streak with the Laetitia in this movie, that he's like, we must protect and honor this young woman. It reminded me of I don't know if y'all have seen Porco Rosso. It reminds me of the American troops in that movie, that they're like, this young lady, we must salute and protect the young lady partner of Porco Rosso.
He's a bad cop, but a good cop. And we like
he's good because he's bad.
Yes. So he's the same type of cop on Movies for Babies, but we just feel about him differently. It's can't explain it.
He wants to get Lupin. His only desire is to be the one to catch Lupin. He will go to the ends of the earth for Lupin. In the shows, whenever he catches Lupin, he immediately has an existential meltdown because he doesn't know what else to do with his life.
What do I do?
He is the Wile E. Coyote to Lupin's Roadrunner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. and if sometimes those two teamed up when like a worse bad guy was at play, when the Nazis got another doomsday weapon.
Oh, well, we'll get into that.
Which like that I didn't really know anything about like the plot of this movie going into it, and the fucking like boys from Brazil.
So do we want to talk about the actual story of the movie,
Sure.
or?
It's pretty light, like most loop. It's mostly just like a global chase or there's always they're very simple, and that's part of like their appeal. This one feels Lupin is not like M-rated or anything like that, but this is definitely a kids film. This is like a full ass kids movie.
Still goes in directions that you'd be surprised for a children's movie. But
Absolutely.
it is tamer than other Lupin fare that I've seen. Lupin fare that I've seen.
Yeah, the TNA is tamer, the violence and shooting is tamer, but it's never been like bad. Like Lupin is not it's not Berserk. It's not like one of those uber violent or uber sexual franchises. But yeah, it opens as every Lupin film should, with a heist already basically in progress, where the Book of Bresson is up for action. This like it does a cold open where there's a car chase, but
Nazis hunt down an archaeologist and kill them.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't care less about any story about, like, your parents died and you must carry on their legacy. I don't care. Maybe that's my relationship to my own parents, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about anyone's fucking parents or grandparents. I don't care. But it's fine. The movie does not.
I'm the last male with the name Thule, and like I've taken a hard no children stance.
Kill that line off.
I'm in the same boat as you. Let this legacy fucking die with me.
Salt the earth of the family tree, baby. It's over. Let the roots rot with me. Yeah, I don't care about anybody's like family legacy, but it's fine. Like Letitia's fine, Lupin's fine. They don't do too much of it where it just feels like, oh, good God, stop talking about this.
It does feel like a move that was made to make the movie appeal to a wider audience of outside of Japan. Yeah. There were times where this, despite it, being made by like Toho, and despite it being made in Japan,
G-Kids,
and G-Kids, and I mean there are French animators. There's all the best animation is French right now, but it does feel like it was made to appeal to a wider audience.
Yes.
With that, and maybe this is for final thoughts, and maybe I will save this. It took me a little bit to get into this one. The first half an hour or so, I wasn't crazy about this movie. It won me over. And the more that time has gone on and the more I've thought about it, the more I've enjoyed it, the more I've appreciated it. But I was thinking about this, and maybe you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong or what you think. But, like, obviously we get a lot of reboots now. Obviously we get a lot of remakes now. And obviously there's a lot of cases where, like, successful reboots, less than successful reboots, blah, 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 blah. The only example I can think of right now, like for better or for worse, example of a good reboot would be like The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
There is a level of reboot where, like, I don't know how to put it. This is the only way I know how to describe it, but like it doesn't feel like a reboot, but more it feels like a cover band.
Uh-huh.
And where do you guys think this falls? Does this feel like a reboot? Does this feel like the same continuity?
No.
Does this feel like a cover band?
I think continuity is ultimately irrelevant for a property like Lupin, because he's just so old and he's been rebooted so much.
Well, when I say continuity, I mean, does it feel like the same?
Oh yeah, I think Kevin is right in that Lupin has such a strong historical story structure that I think it's less about how good of a if you're going to do work on Lupin, your primary objective is showing how good you are at doing a Lupin-style story.
Okay.
That follows the same beats, the same structure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're covering a beloved tune, and you're just showing how good of an artist you are playing that song. You're not trying to reinvent anything. You're not trying to maybe make it your own a little bit, but you have to pay homage to the legacy of what's come before you.
I guess that's what I'm getting at is, does this feel like a cover band and someone's imitating those notes? Or does it feel like the original artists have gotten back together for one last album?
This feels like they took an episode of the show and just made it feature length.
Yeah, I agree. This is the right... They got the vibe. Again, it's like a little more 3D animated, like kiddish.
Yeah.
It feels like particularly kiddish, but I think it feels strong. That's something that I cannot describe to you the huge wave of relief that washed over me when this movie called Lupin the Third the First was not a fucking origin story for Lupin. I cannot describe to you how good it felt when I was like, oh, god damn it, like, and it starts in, like, 1940, I'm like, is this gonna be, like, his first heist or something? Mm-hmm. And then we cut to a decade later, mid-century Europe, mid-heist. Oh, god, the last thing I want to know about is how he met Fujiko. I don't care. Like, the appeal of this franchise is, this is the story, every episode is a new heist, every movie is a new like, that is the...
Yeah.
The wheels, it's not only, like, the wheel that makes the story go, the story is the wheel. Like, the wheel is the whole reason we're here. And I was just so, like, oh, thank God, like, we're opening mid-heist. This isn't about his grandpa. That element is, I think, the weakest of the movie. It doesn't have, like, the emotional payoff you would want it to have it in here at all. Like, the moment where he puts on the famous hat and cane...
The supposedly famous.
Yeah, allegedly famous. I mean, that's just, like, that is what Arsène Lupin, red jacket, black top hat, cane. Like, that is the classical idea of that guy, but they don't set it up enough or pay it off enough that it really, like, works. But the movie is so brisk that it doesn't really, like, detract anything for me. Because we don't spend a lot of time laying those bricks. And the weakest element of this movie for me is like no, you're not a Nazi's kid, you're the good people's kid. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but I think it feels like straight good Lupin. They did a good job of keeping like the walk cycle animations of the 2D versions of these characters and turning them into 3D, like Zenigata's like shoulders out, arms pump, like funny run that he always does.
Bow-legged all the time.
Bow-legged. Like they kept like when Lupin gets wrapped up in that net and like they do a great like squash and stretch, like his arms are up by his head, and the net falls over. I think they did a really good job translating this to a little more to 3D, but also to a slightly younger, broader audience.
It was just I was thinking a lot about the Peanuts movie, movie that came out. God, when was that? 2015, 2014. The one with that I know you lie, your lips are moving. Boy, do you think I'm dumb? Whatever her name is, she did the theme song for it, and I was thinking a lot about that movie while watching this, and I'm curious to know what you guys. I guess I know what you guys think, but just like that movie, though they did a CG that kind of felt like the original 2D animation style, it still did not feel enough like that old Peanuts thing. It felt more like a cover band than it felt like the original artists.
It's kind of like with cartooning, you have to do style. Like cartooning is stylization. It is simplifying and elaborating on things in a way that you don't have to show all the detail, but you can get away with enough. The problem with CGI is that because it is CGI, we assume it has we can then we can get rid of the shorthand. But by keeping the silhouettes and the shapes and the general line work of the cartoon, but giving it texture of real stuff, to me creates that kind of conflict and an uncanniness that can go awry. I think the Peanuts don't do it well. I think it doesn't work as well in like the Captain Underpants movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think it works better in here just because we see it's not as prevalent and it's just better integrated. But I definitely get where you're coming from, Vern, in the sort of the cover band idea, because it's literally adding dimensions to something that already existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I do get ya. But it felt like classic Lupin to me.
It did for me too. For the most part, there was a few things where I was like, but also too, it's been over a decade since I've watched the second series on Adult Swim. It's been a year and a half since I watched Castle, so my memories may be convoluted.
That's okay.
Sorry to get us way off track of the story. I was just my apologies.
No, that's okay. We open as a Lupin movie should, classic like fun heist chase. And then Lupin gets captured, but don't worry, it was his plan all along. The Lupin universe really asks one to just accept that everyone always has a plan that we knew nothing about. And that is an aspect of the storytelling, is that like, Fujiko had a plan you didn't know anything about. Lupin got captured, but don't worry, somehow Jigen and Goemon knew to be in this desert at this time. Don't worry.
Everyone, it's competence. Everyone knows what they're doing. You just don't know it. And it's not like the Sherlock TV show where it's just kind of shitty.
Christ.
That makes you, the viewer, feel like an idiot for not knowing. It's just, you, the viewer, are told it's fine. Everyone knows what they're doing. Just sit back and watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. So he gets captured. Great car chase sequence. I really, really liked this. The way that the cars were moving and ducking in and out, like the physics felt just cartoony enough that I really like. We got some fun movements, some fun animation. The fucking police van getting cut in half is classic Goemon shit. Rules. And it's like two half cars driving. Always good when you get a half car. And Zenigata just like trying to chase the car on foot, just screaming Lupin. Beautiful work. And then the gang splits up, and Lupin sneaks into the apartment of a young girl. But so it doesn't. Again, they walk that line where it doesn't feel like creepy or predatory.
Yeah. It almost gets there, but it doesn't.
It almost does. There. Where he's like given like a little kissy kiss face. It's inappropriate. Not good timing, Lupin, I will say.
Poor move, gentleman thief.
Yeah, what kind of gentleman are you? You coming in here trying to kiss Laetitia. The Japanese voice actors had a real difficulty making Laetitia work. It's not, and I get like it's some European ass name, like mid-century Europe ass language does not necessarily translate to modern day Japanese, but they had to make that one like a whole ham sandwich. You know
could have just said Helen. Helen's easy.
Helen's easy, less letters, but no, Laetitia.
Well, they need Laetitia for the puzzle that happens.
Yeah,
But they made up the puzzle themselves. They could have used any number.
That's true.
You got me there. It's not a real puzzle. It's a fake one.
The puzzle didn't pre-exist the film.
I think they needed it to be a distinct enough name that you would think about using it for the puzzle. You know what I mean? Like, it couldn't have been Jane because Jane is too common and plain a name. It needed to be distinctive enough that our master thief would think to use it as the password. immediately following a sequence where she's like, yeah, everyone in my family's named Letitia.
Yeah.
This name we all know.
It was
To
a
which
thing where
Lupin the Third says, "That's dumb."
That's weird. My first name, Arsene. My first name. Very common name, of course. My first name.
it was a thing where, though I was watching the dub, we're a subtitles house here because we're both partially deaf, I guess. So it was a thing where it's like the instant she said her name and it was Letitia, but it was not spelt like anytime I've seen Kevin's tweet about Caitlyn the other day. I saw the name Letitia pop up and I'm like, that's a weird way of spelling. And so then whenever the puzzle popped up later, I was like, oh, it's her name. And that was kind of a bummer for me.
I know I'm about 20 years older than the target audience for this movie, but I'm like, come on, Lupin, it's obviously Letitia.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, movie.
Dora.
What are you, for babies?
Swiper is right behind you, Dora. What the fuck are you doing? The Purple Mountain is back there.
Tunnel.
The Purple Mountain is back there. A clue, Blue. You
Come on, Steve. Steve, turn the fuck around, for Christ's sake.
There's a clue.
You're killing me, Steve. You're killing me.
Steve, you're drunk. Stop talking to the mailbox and look under the fucking couch.
Grover, I know near and far are different. You don't have to keep explaining it to me.
Grover, the monster is you. You are the monster. You're
the
on
end
every
of the
page
book,
of this
Grover.
fucking book. Come on.
Woo. Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu, obviously.
Dumb piece of shit.
I know what he looks like. Who's that Pokemon? Duh. Shit. Woo.
Yeah.
That made me
So,
laugh.
I don't know if we ever talked about what the heist is for. The heist is for a special diary that has like a clockwork puzzle on it.
And a bomb.
Yeah, and a bomb to blow up whoever fucks up the puzzle. And Lupin helps Letitia, a archaeologist turned thief, who's trying to get into Boston University. Which is the funniest fucking thing in the world to me, because I sincerely forgot that Boston is still a famous city that the rest of the world knows about.
For sure. Yeah, it's...
And again,
I want to go to Boston.
Again, us grappling with the fact that the world is not a fucking cartoon. Like, us three, we think of Boston, we think of just drunkard Ben Affleck getting ready to punch other, like,
oh yeah.
We don't realize, like, oh no, there's like MIT's there, like there's an intelligent community in Boston.
Yeah. Boston Dynamics,
Boston,
the robot guys.
Shameless just plays.
And even though that's from Chicago, my friend Aaron, Jeopardy champion Aaron McLean, is from Boston. And despite me having a closeness with my friend Aaron McLean and knowing she's a very intelligent woman who is like, who has several degrees and fucking won a Jeopardy tournament, we just think of Boston as being like, hey, park the car in Marvin Yard.
Mark Wahlberg over here. Go Pads. Park the car in Harvard Yard. And we're like, these idiots.
Dumbasses.
The
clue is right behind you, you dumb piece of shit.
Hey, Blue! Blue, the clue's behind you! Fucking idiot dog can't see the fucking paw print. God damn it.
Dude, you gotta jump into the fucking painting, you dumb piece of shit.
Elmo, don't ask a baby. He doesn't have information for you. Woo.
Oscar, get the elephant out of your trash can.
Oscar, you can't fit that in there. This Oscar, he really speaks to me. I understand his disposition and general dislike of the human condition.
Listen, Stinky the Plant knows what it's about, right?
Oscar the Grouch is fucking Boston strong. They solve the remarkably easy riddle of the book. You dumb bitch, Lupin. Of course it's Letitia. Weren't you watching the movie? They wouldn't
Thank God.
have made such a point.
Thank God, Lupin the Third has a grasp of how millennial children spell the names of their children. You know, and he didn't think it was. You know, thank God he realized, like, oh, it's Letitia, but it's spelled like, you know, with a word cannon, with a word shotgun.
It's spelled like a Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as opposed to, like, yeah, again, Caitlin, where, like, you meet a Caitlin, you attempt to write that name down, and you're like, this could go any direction.
Hello, I am
no
Catalian
telling.
of the House of Stars.
Yeah, there's no fucking telling what that name is about to look like when someone says their name.
God, like, if her name was... So my wife is Nicole, but her name is Nicole with an H in it. And so, like, if the lady in this movie was Nicole, he would have blew up the whole building because everyone spells Nicole's name just Nicole.
Yeah.
It's thank God Lupin is world traveled and he knows how people spell things. And
Lupin would have been dead as shit and taken those Nazi bitches with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But, you know,
I don't know if we made that clear. The people that Lupin and Letitia is trying to beat to the diary is the Ahnenerbe wing of the former Nazi party.
yeah, it's not Hydra.
It's
not
the very
like,
real old SS archaeology unit.
yes, it's
Yeah.
not like they don't do a Marvel thing where it's Nazis but not Nazis. Like, these are full on Nazis to the level that, like, Hitler appears in this film.
Oh yeah, no, the leader of the Nazis is a guy who unfortunately looks a lot like David Lynch.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
David Lynch, but with Werner Herzog's voice.
It's evil David Lynch is convinced that Hitler is alive in South America, and he keeps a photo of him on himself all the time.
Yeah.
I gotta tell y'all, I had gin drunk, and I had just eaten, like, a heap and helping of Chinese food. And, like, it was 11 at night, and when he pulls out a fucking picture of Hitler,
a glossy headshot of old Hitler.
I was like, whoa.
We're going where even fucking Indiana Jones wouldn't
Dude,
go.
like, Hitler
Yes.
himself. Like,
Well, actually,
Yes.
never mind. Indiana Jones did go there, but
well, Belloc
I guess, yeah,
was not Hitler himself, you know what I mean? Like, Belloc.
Yeah.
no. But in the second one, they show Hitler.
They do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not the second one. The third one. He gets
The
an
third one.
autograph.
Oh. No, I don't
Is it
remember that.
I can't recall. Also, the second Indiana Jones movie is a prequel, and they never explain that. And it's very, like, it's completely threw me a loop for the first time I watched that movie.
Well, it's trying to play into the adventure serial part where which from the cloth from which the Lupin the Third is cut
Absolutely.
from, where it's just basic little plot. You come in, you get caught up by looking at the little prequel last time on Lupin the Third,
Yes.
or last time on Indiana Jones. And you're caught up, you watch a guy do some hijinks and punch a Nazi, because this was the 1940s,
Right.
Yes.
and then you
Those
move
old-
on.
Those old adventure serials
Yeah,
where
Buck Rogers nonsense.
it's okay if you've not caught the first three. Like, this is a self-contained story that adds up to a larger narrative.
Exactly.
Which is why the prequel Star Wars movies and the sequel Star Wars movies fail, because the only way you could enjoy those movies is if you see the original core trilogy.
Correct.
Yep.
It is the obstacle that those movies, and we are not about to start talking about Star Wars, but it is the wrong seed that the tree is grown from. That, like,
Yes.
say what you will about the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they are always going forward. They are always like, what is next? As opposed to Star Wars, which is like, oh, weren't these 3 movies great? And specifically the
Yeah.
first 2, aren't those great? Whereas, like, Lupin blessedly does not have any of that. It's baggage free.
Also, I was thinking about this, like, and it won't happen, and it's sad, but like, we know you guys are going to do a new Indiana Jones movie. We know what's going to happen. We know you're going to do 6 and 7 and 8 more Indiana Jones movies. Mm-hmm. Get these guys that did this Lupin movie to write your Indiana Jones movie. Like, oh yeah, like this is the best Indiana Jones movie that we've seen in a long time, and it's a Lupin the Third movie.
Absolutely, I know it won't happen. They're doing some like open world Indiana Jones video game, like Ubisoft is publishing that.
By pinnacle of quality, Bethesda.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Great. Now I have no interest. Excellent. A game I can skip. Cool. I love to know that it's just like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about this.
Stop trying.
If there's one thing Indiana Jones needed is lack of focus in storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I hated about Raiders was its linear focus and efficiency of storytelling. That's what. Oh, I hated that so much about Raiders of the Lost.
Try as you might, you're never going to beat Fate of Atlantis as an Indiana Jones video game. Stop trying.
Stop trying.
Just go back and play Fate of Atlantis. Then that's the best Indiana Jones. Apart from, like, I don't know, 10 and Lupin the Third, it's the best Indiana Jones thing you can get.
The ideal Indiana Jones video game is just Castlevania, but in, like, an old-ass temple instead of a castle. Like, that's what an Indiana Jones...
Well, it's Tomb Raider! Tomb Raider is the ideal Indiana Jones video game.
Yeah, you basically got me there. Yeah, you basically got me there.
This movie, as we said, like, deals with real deal Nazis to the extent that Hitler appears in it. Mm-hmm. Because of the audience that, would watch this, unfortunately there's a lot of like edgelords and whatnot in the anime audience, anime fandom. I'm so happy that like all Hitler does in this movie is like sit in a wheelchair and play with a machine. I'm so glad that he doesn't do anything ridiculous, because that would just be a GIF on Twitter for the end until the end of time. I'm so happy that
he does like a silly shrug. That's like the only thing he does that is at all GIF-able.
So happy that it wasn't ridiculous.
Japan has done an admirable job distancing themselves from their relationship to Nazi Germany, and trying to compensate for their relationship to the Nazi regime. They're really kind of dropping the ball, making up for their own war crimes in World War II. But
they've done a good job of distancing themselves from their relationship with the Nazis. But half of America has picked up the slack, so it's all good. America.
Yeah. Well, no. Here's the thing: we did. In all fairness, America didn't distance from the Nazis. We actually let them in.
Yeah, so. We embrace them with open arms, and
nothing bad can come from welcoming the smartest Nazis into our country. Nothing bad can come of this exact action.
Like, the most competent scientists from a country whose idea of science was just shooting prisoners and then seeing what happened.
World War II would have gone down a lot differently, and things would have been a lot different for Japan if right before the Pearl Harbor attacks had happened, they had just painted Antifa on the side of the planes. We would have never went after them whatsoever. The bombs wouldn't have been dropped. America would have lost World War II. That's the one thing that would have saved them. But it's all good.
But they didn't do it.
We live in a hellscape, by the way.
We do.
Thank God for... I was so happy to see a movie where it was like, not only were Nazis in this movie, but like, these are bad guys.
Yeah.
These are terrible people.
They don't go into their motives. It is just implicitly held that Nazis wanting to rebuild the Third Reich is a bad thing.
Yes, it is like the oldest video game shorthand in the world. Like, you don't have to do anything to build up your bad guys. If you're like, oh, this is Wolfenstein, you're going to shoot Nazis. And I'm like, got it. You need tell me nothing else about what they're up to.
Controversial now.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
if it's a Wolfenstein, if it's like anything like that, it's like, especially in a video game, like, I don't care. Get me to the part where I can start shooting and punching the Nazis. I don't care. Like,
there's those remarkable Wolfenstein games that started coming out a few years ago, like Wolfenstein New Order and New Colossus, that are like, they have storytelling that I've like never seen in a video game before, but also like, yeah, the storytelling's great, but I just can I just like murder 17,000 more Nazis now, please? Like, let's jump to the part where I can kill Nazis. Anyway, yeah, bad guy Nazis, they get fucking sucked into a black hole. Like,
yeah. So it turns out that the diary, which was written by Letitia's twist grandfather, and was like encoded by Lupin's grandfather, who, yeah, is a storyline they never really deal with, that Lupin like helped set up like the temple, I think. I don't know. There's a magic temple of super tech in Mexico. They go to an Aztec temple, and they get a Geiger ass looking Final Fantasy boss.
Yeah, they get a fucking super Final Fantasy ass boss here. The only thing that keeps it from being Final Fantasy is that Lupin does not end this movie by killing God, but he's just short of that. But this is the section that I'm like, yeah, this is what I like about Lupin. Like, we go from a little plane sequence into a little, like, the gang's all here and they're gonna go through, like, a tomb, and they're gonna all, like, work to figure it out. The solution being a meteor, and the fact that Goemon has a blade made of meteor metal is, like, a little too convenient. But
yeah, like they need like that's a classic like samurai thing. Like that's a classic samurai thing, and Goemon's character is samurai. He doesn't have another character.
Yeah, he's
trait.
samurai.
He's just samurai.
Which like makes
I guess
so that's the one thing that if Goemon can't cut it, he can't do anything else. So they have to give him something else to do in the movie, because he's done nothing but cut to this point. So they go to his other trait, having a sword.
Yeah, and they pay it off with, like, him being so pissed that, like, his sword is being used to, like, solve a puzzle instead of cut guys. And so, like, later when he gets to cut guys, he's just, like, so happy. The payoff is good, even if the setup is, like, weak. You know what I mean?
And I guess, too, it's a thing where, like, if we weren't dumb Americans, it would have been like, oh, yeah,
of course he has a blade of meteor metal. So it sounds like Justin didn't have the same problem with that as I did, that's fine. But then, like...
But that's because I have my own very special cocktail of brain poisoning, so...
Don't we all? But...
Don't we all?
Yeah. Don't we all?
You knew that, and like, so it made sense to you. Whereas,
yeah, no, I was watching this and seeing that he gotta explain to the audience, don't you know that samurai have swords forged from meteoric iron? And I'm just screaming at the screen, yes, Zenigata, we all know! Can we move on?
We all...
Whereas if Justin was watching, Love and Mercy, and he saw that scene where Dennis Wilson looks over an ocean and says, you can lose a lot out there. It means nothing to you. But with my brain poisoning, I was like, oh my God, Dennis Wilson drowned. It plays on a knowledge that a specific section of knowledge. And
I don't know who Dennis Wilson is.
Oh, it's one of the Beach Boys.
Oh,
brother of Brian Wilson, yes.
Brother of Brian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that introduced Charles Manson to the world.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis, great job, bud. Oh, you sold your gold records to give Charles Manson money? Maybe chill?
A man who clearly knows how to spend it wisely.
Yeah, absolutely. Great issue of a Hawkeye comic where they essentially run into Brian Wilson. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a whole issue of the 2012 Hawkeye series where they essentially get embroiled in like the rights to Beach Boys songs and like the tortured legacy of like a genius who doesn't know how to create his creations anymore. It's a really excellent issue. Anyway, so they find the Nazi super weapon, and then we get the shit you show up to a Lupin movie for, where the little yellow car is chasing a big plane, and they're jumping back and forth, and like it's good shit. That's all I gotta say.
The weapon is just an old super weapon that makes black holes and can fly, and they don't go, and you don't need to know where the weapon came from.
No.
Why it looks the way it looks, how the Aztecs, if it was the Aztecs, came up with it, or where it came from, how it does anything. It's just, this is a weird organic-looking machine that makes black holes.
I liked and
can fly. Fuck you for asking.
This is probably the wrong terminology for an animated film, but I really enjoyed the production design on that machine. The two rotating orbs that you just use hand movements to control. I thought that was a nice little looking.
It makes black holes from like a stinger.
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's a really good design. I think animated movies have people you would call production designers. I think they still have. It's just not a physical production.
Oh yeah. They have like prop designers and set designers and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have all that stuff, and this is good. This is a little too like Doomsday-y, not necessarily what I want from Lupin for like my personal tastes. I like when it's just like a treasure, but like you're making like a big movie. It's just a little too like kids movie Doomsday device end of the world kind of stuff.
It's too much the movie kind of thing for like if you're doing the movie of a TV show, you do that.
Yeah.
Like what happens in every Pokemon movie.
Correct.
It's the Scooby-Doo, the origins of movies for babies, where there's a needless origin story, and there's like, this will end the world with this convoluted thing that we will related
open the gates of hell to end the world and get the hell's treasure.
This dips its toe into that territory, and thank God it's just a toe, because like that whole pool is what soured the Scooby-Doo movie on a pod named Scooby-Doo. So I'm happy it was just a little bit. I guess it's like, because this is kind of designed to appeal to a wide audience, the people that made it rightfully were just like, Americans are dumb. They'll only understand something if like the end of the world coming about and like your bloodline can stop it.
Yeah,
we have to have that American exceptionalism where like we can. We are related to this. We have, whatever.
Yeah. I appreciate that this movie...
They realize they have to dumb it down.
This movie does not go the route that it's like, only Letitia can open the like, they don't do any of that, which I appreciate. Like, her name unlocks it, but it's never like, Lupin, only the blood of Arsène Lupin can cleanse the Doomsday device of its power. They don't go to any of that, which is like truly my least favorite thing we've decided movies should have in them now. I cannot stand it. It's the most boring thing in the entire world to me.
I don't want anyone to be special. I want the movie to make a character special. I don't want the movie to tell me a character is special.
Yes.
Correct. And I think our next Movies for Babies outing will get into that a lot, which is one of the things I like about the next movie we're going to talk about. But yeah,
what is the next movie we're going to talk about? I don't know.
After this, we do need to figure out our schedule, but I think we need to get back to the plot of the movie real quick.
Yeah, I mean, the plot is pretty slight. Of course, our Nazis.
Nazi gets the black hole machine. They trick the Nazi, but with his one dream that he ever wants to which is to meet old Hitler.
to get a pat on the back from Mein Führer.
Yeah. And David Lynch meets old Man Führer, and he's so happy, and he's so upset when it turns out that it's Lupin in disguise.
And then Lupin's like,
and there's
Hitler's not alive.
Hitler fucking where David
killed
Lynch
himself,
doesn't say.
Hitler fucking killed himself.
They Hitler's in a wheelchair, and when he stands up, they should have had David Lynch go, "Mein Führer, you can walk."
Very
nice.
References. You love to see them.
References. They love it.
You love to see it.
There's a movie that that Martin Short did. It was a Jiminy Glick thing. Jiminy Glick and La La Wood, I think it was called. And Jiminy Glick is a thing where like he works in a sketch. He did not work in two seasons of a show that happened, and I don't know how he works in a movie because I've not seen it. But there's a movie, Jiminy Glick and La La Wood, where Martin Short plays both the hero of the movie, the protagonist of the movie, Jiminy Glick, and the antagonist of the movie, David Lynch. And it's Martin Short playing David Lynch as the antagonist of this movie.
What?
And there's some sort of heist that happens at Cannes Film Festival or something like that. And it's Martin Short as David Lynch doing it. It's a bizarre thing. It's the second time I've seen a movie. Well, I've not seen the Martin Short, Jiminy Glick and La La Wood. But it's the second time where either David Lynch or someone who looks exactly like David Lynch was the antagonist of a film. Again, brain poisoning. Brain poisoning.
Jiminy Glick and Well, stay tuned to Movies for Babies. Jiminy Glick and La La Wood.
Man, that's a good ass title.
That's a tight 90 minutes of Jiminy Glick and La La Wood. Jan Hooks, Linda Cardellini, Janine Garofalo, John Michael Higgins, Mo Collins. I don't know. Aries Spears. Oh my God. So Martin Short went over to Mad TV and he said, you, come with me.
He went to Mad TV. He's like, I need 3 of your best guys.
Three of your best guys. Mo Collins.
I need 3 of your best guys to pull off a heist that is making this movie.
Gary Anthony Williams is in here? Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh my God, what a time capsule of comedy in 2004. This movie came out the same year as fucking Anchorman. Jesus. But yeah, it turns out
Jiminy Glick is to Mad TV that Anchorman is to SNL.
Yeah, absolutely right, exactly.
You know, and he might have been on. I know he's been on both SNL and Mad TV, but he might have done like a Jiminy Glick on Mad TV. I don't know. Jiminy Glick is a weird. Again, he worked. I don't know how he got as much mileage out of that character as he did. I do not understand it at all.
No, absolutely.
Anyway,
Hitler was a fake. He was a fraud. And
it's Lupin playing.
It's Lupin in disguise, and then we get the cool. How did they do it? And it's like they all parachuted in and did a cool action pose. Each one of them did one cool action thing, and they beat up all the Nazis and took it over. And instead of arresting the Nazis on sight, they're like, no, we're gonna send Lupin up to the plane as Hitler to stop or I guess to like learn how to operate the doomsday weapon.
Yeah.
So that they could then destroy it. But it's just like very funny that like this island's already controlled by the cops and they don't just like arrest these guys on sight.
Yeah, kids movie. The black hole machine fucks up. David Lynch gets spaghettified into the black hole.
Lupin gives him a nice parting gift of tossing his picture of Hitler in after him.
I mean,
take this to hell with you.
So, for the record, spaghettification is what is the process of, as you get sucked into a black hole, your body compresses horizontally and lengthens vertically. Uh-huh. So the force of gravity turns you into a piece of spaghetti and stretches you farther and farther and farther for seeming eternity.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that sucks. Sucks
I don't mind a Nazi having a picture of his fave while that happens to him to bring him that modicum of solace
during the spaghettification of his eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fujiko gets away with treasure. Lupin gets away, period. Letitia gets into Boston University.
Boston Strong.
Boston Strong.
Letitia is Boston Strong.
Letitia is Boston Strong. Our gang, again, rides off into the sunset. This is how. This is like exactly how Castle of Cagliostro ends. And I assume it's how most Lupin movies end, is like Fujiko escapes off her way. Our gang leaves the nice girl that wants to hang out with them behind to be like, no, a thief's life is not for you. And then Zenigata resumes his chase, so that next time we meet all of these people, they are exactly in the same place as when
no lessons learned. No lessons need to be learned.
No, that's not the point.
I did a cursory, read about this. I read about this movie a little bit last night, and from what I recall, from what I understand, like they really tried to lean into that castle aesthetic with this movie. I mean, I've not seen the other ones, but like it's widely considered, that the castle to be just like kind of like the epitome of Lupin.
I mean, it is fucking
the best.
Hayao Miyazaki, who like is pretty good at making movies, and even
but a man who hates his craft. He clearly hates making anime movies, but I don't think he can imagine himself doing anything else.
Exactly. He is strung into this life. It is the only life he knows.
The only thing he hates more than his movies are his son's movies. There's a very hard video to watch of Hayao Miyazaki walking out of his son's first movie.
Is that up on Poppy Hill?
Yeah, it's his son's first movie is Tales from Earthsea. A very interesting thing. Maybe we should talk about this in a future episode, but like it's Tales from Earthsea is Goro Miyazaki's first feature. The first scene of that movie is a son killing his father. And there's a whole lot of stuff in that movie about our relationships with our parents. And then there's a video of Hayao Miyazaki walking out of it whenever he sees it for the first time.
So
if you put our three brains into a computer and had an algorithmically determined episode, it would be us doing that.
Tales from Earthsea. Not My Neighbor Totoro. It would be us doing Tales from Earthsea.
Well, if you've got Justin's literary,
you've got Ursula K. Le Guin in there.
You've got Justin's legit literary background, Justin, who actually knows literature and knows anime, and then you have Kevin and I, who both hate our fucking parents. So like, and me especially, who whose first feature deals with his relationship with his parents to a degree. Like, yeah, that is the algorithm episode.
That does seem right.
Warning. Warning. This episode includes father bothers. The listener's discretion is advised.
Yeah, absolutely. That one should be fucking prefaced, because I'm sure it's just going to be a bunch of fucking acid being spewed.
What month is Father's Day? That's our June episode.
Absolutely. So we're trucking right along here. This is I don't think we've remarked on it. I think this is a lovely animated movie. I think it's beautifully animated.
The lighting is so good.
Yeah, the lighting is tremendous. The fucking maybe it's
Lupin's hair when he's flying out of like the plane, like it looks like I don't know the hair animation. Like he looks fuzzy.
Yeah, he looks like a fuzzy.
He looks like a monkey.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got monkey.
He's got that fucking monkey ass face. Everyone's hair. This movie looks great. Maybe it's just that like partially that earlier this week I watched the fucking 2008 Star Wars Clone Wars animated movie, but compared to that, this is like the most beautiful movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, where everyone's hair is like Lego style, just a solid piece of plastic.
Where they took Genndy Tartakovsky character design, like his very distinctive, like hard line, hard edge, very like angular, thick black line style of animating that Genndy carries into all of his movies, and fucking just made it 3D. It looks so weird. It looks so
and weird. I don't understand it. Like everyone, when they talk about the Clone Wars, talks about like because they did a CG series of the Clone Wars after that movie.
Featuring the best character Star Wars has ever created,
Gay Jabba the Hutt,
Zero the Hutt,
Truman Capote the Hutt.
Truman Capote the Hutt. But like no one like it seems like that the original Clone Wars series, that 2D animated series that Genndy Tartakovsky did, is like completely forgotten by time.
Yeah,
and I do not understand.
And that one's whatsoever. Like actually good because like spoilers. Genndy Tartakovsky is fucking good at animating shit. He's a very good animated director, and it sucks that has essentially been erased by time. I wish that one were widely available. But in any case, it's all good. This is a beautifully...
I do appreciate that this movie's animation is great, and I do appreciate that it's like... It's still like CG animation, which is like... CG animation's great, it's just we've oversaturated the market. We oversaturated the market with CG animation years ago, a decade ago, honestly. I miss 2D animation. I long for 2D animation. This is still great 2D animation. I'm glad it's still like, Kevin, you mentioned this earlier. They still have like all their 2D walk cycles, and they do a good job of like capturing that style. It feels naturalistic. I'm glad they did what they did instead of like doing a live action Lupin or trying to do like what they did with that Lion King remake, with this or something like that. I'm glad it's still like cartoony, which is what it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a remarkable job. I haven't seen any of the other movies that this director has done, and like a bad podcaster, I don't have his name in front of me, but he also did that Dragon Quest Your Story 3D animated movie on Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's done like
that
20 movies.
Yeah, that was a very divisive movie, but Dragon Age is another one of those things that is like an institution in Japan.
Yeah.
And never caught on in America.
Right. He did 2 live-action adaptations of the anime Parasite, the guy with the weird hand with like the eyeballs on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a guy whose body is a parasite.
Yeah, hand man.
I believe my wife has watched that. I believe that's a thing that my wife has seen.
It seems like he's mostly a live-action director and only has moved into full animation here in the last like 2 years. But I think he has a remarkable like knack for it. It really looks good. The stills I've seen from Dragon Quest I think look good. I've just not watched it. But this is a fun, interesting movie. We don't do official rankings here on Movies for Babies, but this is like, it's not as good as the Muppet movie, but like around Goosebumps level quality. IMHO. It's like really.
I guess Fantastic Mr. Fox is second place.
Oh, absolutely.
If we were doing it, and I guess like Goosebumps in this are like third or fourth.
Right.
Trying to remember everything that we've done.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I only remember.
I don't know. I've memory holed most of our lineup already, so I'm just going to say I liked this quite a bit. Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch.
Absolutely.
100%.
It's both this and Castle.
Castle. On Netflix right now.
You should do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor and watch Castle, because it's a wonderful little movie.
Fucking delightful. It's one of my favorite Miyazaki's, and I know that sounds weird. But that one just like really gets me. I've watched that one a lot. It's really, really remarkable. A fantastic car chase sequence at near the beginning of Castle of Cagliostro.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking fantastically done. Anyway, Hayao Miyazaki, good at making movies. We'll do him one day. I don't know.
Yes.
Don't know what we do. I want to talk about Porco Rosso, but I know that I like that movie more than most people do. So
that one's my favorite too. We'll figure it out in post. We'll figure it out in post.
Don't worry about it.
Fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. Do we want to talk about what we have planned for next month, or do we want to couch that and talk about it as a unit first?
Let's talk. Let's maybe sign off on the episode.
Okay.
And then figure it out.
Gotcha. Don't announce it on the show. That's fine. That's totally cool. That's why I was.
I have no idea what our plans are.
That's okay.
So, yeah.
Regardless,
Lupin.
this is fun.
Lupin the third.
Lupin the third, the first.
Bad title, but everything else is great.
Yeah.
It turns out that the Lupins were the ones we made on the way.
Sucks. Anyway, I've been TV's Kevin Lanigan. I really like the opening credit sequence to this movie. Some James Bond ass title sequence shit that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is great. I love the soundtrack.
Oh yes, great classic jazz shit. That's Lupin to me. You're doing a chase sequence, or you're doing like a little heisty thing, and the fucking saxophone kicks in, and I'm like, yeah.
I realized earlier on that like for the longest time in my life, jazz was just noise to me, but Japanese jazz, like the Japanese jazz fusion stuff, like that's a spicy.
They get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So this has been your Movies for Babies for January 2021. Don't be a Nazi.
Don't be a pervert either.
God, don't be a Nazi pervert. Don't be.
For the love of God.
Just
Don't
be a Nazi. Don't be a pervert. And God, do not be a Nazi pervert. Please.
If you've learned nothing else from us here today, please take that lesson to heart.
Nazi punks, fuck off. Nazi perverts, fuck off.
It's very funny that the dead Kennedys are now people that post on Twitter like, Mitt Romney has done a lot for this country.
God, what a hell.
There is nothing more depressing than an old punk.
It really isn't. Like, they're really, like, all these old punks are like, I, in the 80s said, all government was bad and cops are fascists, and now I'm like, no, I get where the cops are coming from.
No. They're either like that or they're all like Ron Paul 2024.
Christ.
There is a constant like back during the punk movement, like what punk bands were real, which ones were posers, blah 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 blah. And this decade has revealed to us that they were all fucking posers. They're all losers. They all grew up. Can I I know we signed off a long time ago.
Fuck it.
But I gotta say this. Like, it really sucks to this is a problem that I've had with punk rock. This is a problem I've had with Saturday Night Live. This is a problem that I had when I watched Monty Python Live, 1 Down, 5 to Go, the reunion tours they did.
Oh, is that the one with Eddie Izzard?
No, that's from even longer ago. They did a series of live shows after Graham Chapman died, and they will say it. It was literally those live shows were done to pay off legal fees.
Yes.
Someone who was suing over Spamalot, suing over the money that Spamalot made. One of the original producers of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's really sad to see SNL, Monty Python, these punk rock bands. There's so many other groups have done this. But it's like that started out as anti-establishment and has become the establishment. And it's so depressing seeing them still doing what they do and like feeling like they're like still with that energy of like, oh, we're going against the grain, but they are the fucking grain. And it's a huge bummer, and it's constantly depressing to see that happen, to see the dead Kennedys like tweeting about Mitt Romney, and to see like
the least punk man to have ever been born on this earth,
a Mormon from Utah,
a private equity guy who made his bones buying up businesses and running them into the ground for profit. Like a modern pirate.
Who said during his presidential campaign years ago, not very long ago, that like corporations are people too. Like it's I don't know, it's a bummer to see. It makes me happy that like. Maybe this is a wrong thing to say, but like, thank God we had like John Lennon die, and thank God we had like Kurt Cobain die, and him not grow up to be like, I think, I think Brexit's a good thing. Like fucking
What
Eric
do you mean? I
Clapton,
can't say that word
like,
anymore.
Eric Clapton doing his like anti-mask song and all this
Christ.
horse shit. Like it
Thank God
sucks. It really
Tom
sucks.
Petty's not
And,
alive to see this. Like,
yeah, like fucking. I don't know. It's something that I've seen. Like part of the hardest part about growing up for me has been seeing all this horse shit and no fun. I don't know where I'm going with this, other than that it sucks. But it sucks.
Yeah, no, it's that it sucks. Like
Yeah.
that's
no further thesis needed, I think. I think you're good.
It sucks.
But Lupin doesn't suck. Folks,
But Lupin
enjoy
doesn't
some
suck.
Lupin,
And Lupin,
today.
despite it being a long-running media thing, it's carried the same energy, and it's always felt the same energy.
Yeah,
So,
this great-ass mid-century European heist show. You can rent this for like $5 in HD. You can watch Castle of Cagliostro on Netflix now. You can watch pretty much every episode of the show on Crunchyroll. And G-Kids is also re-releasing a lot of these movies that had like fallen out of print. Like one of the ones that people call the best one, A Woman Called Fujiko Mine, which I have not seen. But I'm very excited that will be
that's
released on Blu-ray sometime
that
this
one is very.
Oh my God, we
that
almost got
Lupin back to his very adult roots.
Yes.
We almost got all the way through a Movies for Babies without shitting on Disney. I'm so glad that G-Kids got the license to all these movies, and it's not Disney anymore. G-Kids has done a great job at making a lot of these movies accessible. Disney was, releasing these Ghibli movies, but they were releasing them with Criterion prices, but with none of the Criterion bonuses. Yeah. And G-Kids has done a great job at like making these movies affordable and accessible to a greater audience, and not just like the greatest hits of these outsider movies to American culture. They've done some deep cuts, and they've done some like harder to find obscure releases, and I'm appreciative of that.
Yeah, they finally made Satoshi Kon's catalog available, which is...
Yes, you can get Millennium Actress now. And Millennium Actress
you can get Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And I had to pay $40 for my copy of Millennium Actress back when it was out of print, and you don't have to do that now, and that's cool. So
I had to get my DVD copy of Paranoia Agent on a New Zealand bootleg.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.
Boopy doopy doop boop sex.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.